Yo, what is going on, guys? We are back today for another video, another tier list, the third iteration of my tier list for this year. We have the May 2022 list, and before we get into it, we got to give this standard tier list disclaimer. So, two disclaimers. Disclaimer number one: this is my opinion plus my channel's opinion. Before every single tier list, I go open up a tab of my previous tier list video and I read through every single comment. There was, I think there's 300 something, I think it was like 306 comments on the last one. Read through every single comment, and based off those comments I change the tier list. This tier list went over some massive changes, so there's going to be a lot to talk about today, which we will get into in a second. So that's the first disclaimer, that this is my opinion and your guys' opinion too. So like, if there's something that you want changed, just be nice about it and put a comment. Also, if you ever want me to read your comment, tier list videos are the best time to comment, because eventually, I don't know when, it might take me a month to get to your comment when I make the next tier list, but all the comments on these videos will get read. But the other disclaimer is that this is not the Bible of MCOC. No tier list should be taken as the Bible of MCOC. Dude, tier lists change from month to month. Personally, like, I learn more every single month. Champions get buffed every single month. Like, so much changes. These tier lists fluctuate based on a lot of things, on current content, on numerous amount of factors, right? So, don't take this as the Bible. Use it as a rough guide. Just because Dr. Doom is over here and Morningstar is over here, Morningstar fully ramped up can do a lot of stuff that Dr. Doom can't do, and might be better for a certain scenario, or a better fight, better quest. Like, this game is entirely matchup dependent. So don't make rank ups solely based on this. Make it off of what you need for content. Try to fill out your roster to have matchups for everything, and at the end of the day, your roster is your roster. Rank whoever you want to rank, but just use this as a rough guide. All right, so enough disclaimers, let's get into it. So massive changes, but before we get into anything, Wong and Rintra, this month's champs, I will rank them in the Mystic class live for you guys in this video at the end. So if you're interested in that, stick around to the end, or you can skip to the end. We'll be doing that then. But before we get into Black Cat and Scorpion's rankings, I want to talk about the tier list a bit, because we underwent massive changes. So I decided, I caved in, man. When I first came up with this, the one above all tier, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have one champion in this tier. But like, it's so difficult because there's champions in the Beyonder tier that I think, like, these champions, for example, should be in the Beyonder tier, but some of these champions are just so much better than them, and it's like, I just couldn't do it. So I'll still have like the headliner of the one above all, the champ that is above the rest, but then other champs can still make it into the tier, because it's just too hard to do otherwise. I would have just had to create a whole new tier between Beyonder and above all, and I don't want to make any new tiers. Enough tiers already. So honestly, it's just like, the biggest challenge is naming these tiers, because I want to come up with something that is good, and I spent a lot of time looking at all different kinds of words and synonyms for words, and it's just, so I don't want to make any more new tiers. I like it the way it is, so I just decided to do it this way. So Dr. Doom, I think, is the absolute top of the Mystic class, but these other 4 Mystic champions are extremely good, man, especially Diablo, Claire with Suicides, Tigra in the right hands is just incredible, Sorcerer Supreme without Suicides in a lot of situations really good, very, very good slow regen on block, all kinds of neat things. And then we had a lot of promotions on this tier list, because now that I was able to shift some of these champions out of Beyonder tier, I was able to make room for some other champions, and that's some cases, but I think these champions here just deserve to be in, I think these champions here just deserve to be in this tier. Sigil Witch, I've seen a lot of really good stuff with her lately, and a big part of a lot of the knowledge that I'm amassing into these lists is Battlegrounds. Like, I learn of a lot of niche champion uses. Like, usually when I lose to like champions that I don't have ranked, so like Sunspot, Mr. Negative. It's like these types of champions that I don't have in my roster, MCOC, but other people have, and they beat me with them just barely, and I'm like, okay, like, these champions, okay, I should stop sleeping on them, you know, and it's eye-opening, which is very nice. But yeah, I've seen Scissor Witch do some crazy things. I've done some crazy things with Hood. Hood has one of the best like nullifies and staggers in the game. Its Fate Seal is incredible, amazing damage output, especially in like a battlegrounds type of content where you're not worried about conserving bullets for the rest of the quest. But I mean, even still, you have 4 other champion slots on regular quests, and you know you can use Hood on the fight or fights that you really need him on with those bullets. And same with Longshot. I've been using Longshot a ton lately, and such incredible damage and buff control. Longshot is just such an absolute monster. And then Magic, I've added some stuff in brackets. I want to eventually get to symbols maybe, but that's a lot to add and to integrate, and I want to make this list simple at the same time. But I've got to put some stuff in brackets. So for example here, Magic. If Magic was not 5-star restricted, she would be in this tier. But she is 5-star restricted. That's the reality that we have to face. So I can't rank her any higher than that. I've got some other promotions here. America Chavez, Ebony Maw, Ghost Rider. All these guys moved up a tier. Man-Thing and Morningstar did as well. Mordo with his buff. I haven't seen and heard a ton about Mordo. So I want you guys to definitely let me know in the comment section down below about Mordo. Do you guys think God tier is a good ranking? You think it should be demoted? Even higher to be honored here? Let me know. That's what I love about these lists. Like, if there's ever a ranking that I'm unsure about, I can just ask you guys, and then on the next tier list, use that feedback to go forward. Also, one other thing I forgot to mention is that, so you see it's going to be pink here for the one above all because, you know, Mythic is pink, so, you know, it's cool. And I'm also going to put pink for the champion in this tier. That is the, like, kind of like the worst champ in the tier, or just the champ that I want buffed most in that class. And so for the Mystic class, it is Iron Fist. But Iron Fists because there's the Immortal version as well. And they both just suck. And they could be so good. Like, I want Iron Fist to have, like, just insane damage output and some regen too. Like, make his focus be armor breaks. Make him like a Mystic CGR. That'd be sick, but, like, without buffs. Well, just crit buffs I think would be good. Like, guaranteed crits, armor breaks, and yes, some regen from his chi. Like, give him the ability to get chi charged like Shang-Chi, but let him, like, use them to heal, kind of like Bishop. I think that'd be really cool, I think, for an Iron Fist buff. But yeah, that's basically it for the Mystic class. Let's move on to the Mutant class. So this was a good one. Kitty Pryde, I still think she is the undisputed best mutant in the game. Honestly, I think Kitty Pryde is arguably the best champion in the entire game, especially with the Tiger synergy, mainly with that Tiger synergy. And that is definitely a controversial statement, which I totally understand. But the funny thing is that, you know, a lot of people call me crazy when I said that, and I was saying that months ago. I was saying that last year. But now, and it was like, especially on these videos, I had read at least 3 comments on the last tier list. They're like, yo, I got Kitty, took her up. I see what you're saying now. I pinned one comment. Someone says, like, Kitty is the solution to problems we haven't even thought of yet or haven't even seen yet. And it's like, it's so true. Like, and another comment is like, a lot of people, this guy commented that all the people saying that Kitty isn't the best champ in the Mutant class probably doesn't have Kitty. And it's just funny that a lot of people are starting to more realize how strong Kitty is, but there's still naysayers and disbelievers out there, which is totally fine. But I hope that eventually you'll come around. Hopefully you get Kitty, you can maybe experience it for yourself. But yeah, I think in the right hands, again, Kitty Pryde, I kind of think of her similar to Tiger. It has to be in the right skilled hands. But in those hands, man, I feel like Kitty Pryde can do just about anything. So yeah, and now the other champions to make it into her tier, you know, a lot of people think Apocalypse is the top of the Mutant class, which is fine, and I see what they're saying. So I definitely think Apocalypse makes into this class. I think Red Magneto definitely makes it here. I used to think Red Mags was the best mutant in the game before Kitty came out. He counters like almost 1/3 the entire game is metal, so he's just able to counter so much. An Archangel, anywhere that you can apply those neurotoxins, he's gonna shred. An Omega Red, he's incredible, but again, I got in brackets here high sig. For Omega Red to be here, he's got to be high sig. Whereas, you know, Magneto doesn't matter, Archangel doesn't really matter, low sig's totally fine, Apocalypse, Undupe's fine, and then Gambit. This one's probably gonna be the most controversial sneak into this tier, but honestly, man, Gambit as a horseman, guys, I can't stress how overpowered Gambit is as a horseman. You can get 100% perfect block. Like, just that alone is so insane. Do you know how easy this game is if you take no block damage? Like, you can just bait heavies every single time. You never have to intercept. You never have to parry. It is ridiculous how you can block. As long as they don't have unblockable specials, you can just keep blocking specials for days. Like, it is insane. And like, that's just what Gambit gets from being a horseman. Not to mention, in his own kit, he has so much utility after his buff. He has pretty good damage with specials, although you do need to take away some of your charges, which takes away that perfect block. But Gambit as a horseman, can't stress how good he is. Can't stress that enough. And because we were able to make so much space in this Beyonder tier, we had a bunch of promotions. Namor, Havoc, Sunspot, and Domino all got promoted from this tier. Storm and Toad both got promotions. Storm X here. Buffed Storm made it into the Beyonder tier. I've been playing around with Buffed Storm a bit. I definitely got to make a video on her. I was using her in the Act 8 beta, and I was just having the time of my life, dude. I was having so much fun with Storm. I kind of see her as like a mutant CGR, Cosmic Ghost Rider, with just so much damage on specials and prowess, and it's just so much fun. I love Storm's buff. I can't clap enough for Kabam on this buff. It's just so good, man. Bishop also got a promotion. And yeah, Namor here he's got to be Sig 200. If Namor's anything but Sig 200, he's in God tier. Even Sig 199, nope, he's out of Beyond God tier. He's got to be Sig 200 to be considered in the Beyonder tier. So you gotta think about that when you're with all those Sig stones. And the really sad thing about Namor is Kitty Pryde sort of makes him irrelevant. If you have a Kitty Pryde, there's really nothing that she can't do that Namor can. Am I saying that right? Like, basically anything Namor can do, Kitty can also do it, and she can just do so much more. Because, you know, Namor, his whole thing is he reflects his hydrokinetic armor from being Max Sig is he reflects damage. So, you know, fighting Electro, you don't take the damage, you actually reflect it. Dude, Kitty Pryde can totally do that too. As long as she's awakened, she takes no damage while phasing. In the skilled hands, you're able to negate damage just like Namor. You're not reflecting it, but reflecting it with Namor is not really that big of a deal. Like, that's not the lure of his kit. It's not taking the damage yourself. That's what matters. And Kitty can do that at Sig 1. So it's just, I feel like Namor lost a lot of value when Kitty Pryde came into the game. But some other champions like Havoc. Havoc's really been growing on me, especially in Battlegrounds. He's amazing on defense, but he's also a monster on attack. He's able to get damage over time. He's also able to get a lot of detonation damage, big specials. I think Havoc's wonderful. Domino, the only problem with her being in Beyonder tier here is that there's a lot of RNG involved in Domino. But if you got the good RNG, then yeah, she totally deserves to be Beyonder tier. And then the champ that I want to see buff most in this class, Cyclops. Both of them, they're just garbage. I think they're the worst mutant in the game. And I think one day we will get a pretty sick Cyclops buff. One day. Don't know when that day will be. But let's go ahead and move on to the science class. So, still have Human Torch up here, number 1 in my opinion. And then only 3 other science champions made it into the one above all tier with him, and that's Spider-Man 2099, Miguel, Immortal Abomination, it's I-Bomb here, and Void. So, I know not everyone's going to agree with this. Like, for example, a lot of people probably think Quake is deserving to be here. I'm not going to ever put a champion that is 5-star restricted in this tier. I won't do it. I just refuse to do it. Until the champion is available as a 6-star, I can't put them here. They're just irrelevant to me. I don't play 5-stars anymore. I don't want to play 5-stars anymore. That time of the game is over for me. I moved on past that. So I can't justifiably do it. I can't. So as soon as Quake becomes a 6-star, man, I'll put her here. I'll put her in pink. I'll put her in the top of the class, all right? But until that day comes, it's not happening. There are some arguments for other champs to join, like Captain America Infinity War. If we're talking Cap with a full team, you know, different classes, so he can actually utilize his synergies and his signature ability, then sure, put him in here. But just Captain America on his own, he doesn't do it for me. Mr. Fantastic, Mr. Negative, these guys are great. Beyonder tier, I don't think they're on the same level as the other champs. Scorpion makes it into the Beyonder tier. I still haven't seen like a ton from Scorpion, but from what I've seen, it's all been really good. Maybe Scorpion could make it here one day. I don't know. but for now he's sitting pretty in the Beyonder tier. And then we added Immortal Hulk to this section, and also Spider-Ham. So a lot of people are talking about Immortal Hulk, not a lot, probably like 3 or 4 comments saying Immortal Hulk should be in a Beyonder tier. And again, once I was able to free up some real estate, put these champions into this tier, I'm like, yeah, I see Hulk, Immortal Hulk being in here. He's not my cup of tea, but I can't deny his power. So he makes into this. And Spider-Ham, I think Spider-Ham is incredible. There's a lot he can do, offensively and defensively, and more of a glass cannon-y type character. But if you can play well with him, then yeah, definitely makes him beyond a tier for me. And then the worst champion, I feel like Rhino's the worst champion, but like he has his uses. You know, Ant-Man's pretty bad, but he has synergies. Abomination has some synergies to make him better. The Captain Americas, they got that block proficiency. Spidey and MODOK, they're defenders. But OG Hulk, he's really got nothing. Like, you know, he can do Caustic Temper, I guess, at the end of the day, which was useful for a time, but I really want to see Kabam buff like the OG Avengers someday. So like OG Hulk's a big one, and then well, I mean, we're done with science. We can move to the tech class. OG Iron Man is the tech champ. I think I want to get buffed the most. Before it was Iron Patriot, but he's gotten some synergies, whereas OG Iron Man has just gotten nothing. And like, they need to put some respect on these OG Avengers, you know? It's really sad that the Avengers, Earth's mightiest heroes, are like in the memes in MCOC. It's really sad. It's saddening. But all right, let's talk about the tech class. So Ghost, still queen of the tech class. That's probably not changed for a while. I said in the last video that, you know, Omega Sentinel maybe one day. That was very premature, and I was kind of half joking, but maybe one day. Who knows? You never know. Ghost could eventually become irrelevant, but that's not going to be for a long time. She's still definitely the queen of the class. And the other 3 tech champs that I think make it, that are like on, you know, Ghost level, but not at that Ghost standard. Warlock, I took Warlock to rank 4, and he has not let me down. He's just such an incredible champion. I think Warlock has the absolute best heal block in the entire game. It's so strong, and its weakness is like buffed opponents. But you know, we're talking opponents with buffs. Why are you taking Warlock? You should probably be taking a Mystic champ, you know, for the most part. So like, his weakness is another class's strength. So like, yeah, it's a good weakness to have, you know. So I think Warlock certainly deserves being here. And then Omega Sentinel and Nimrod, 2 very good mutant hunting champions. So, you know, they're kind of like Human Torch in the way that they're really good against another class. Nimrod, definitely better at hunting the mutants, but Omega Sentinel definitely better outside of those mutant matchups compared to Nimrod. But both are just really incredible tech robot champions. It's funny that Ghost is the only champion here that's not a robot, but these 2 champs, I think they're such incredible robots, and they make it into this tier. Yeah, for me, this is a no-brainer. And then this tier, Gilly2099, I used to compare her and Warlock very closely, but as time has gone on, like, she's starting to become irrelevant because she needs like big fights. Her damage capability is insane, one of the best in the entire game, but there's just nowhere for that to shine. And like, that type of content, you know, I was hoping Abyss would be it, but Gaten kind of sucks in Abyss, so she's really fallen off, which is unfortunate, but I still think she deserves to be on her tier class. I use her every day in map 8 of AQ. She's really great. Ultron could potentially maybe move to this tier one day. I still need convincing, so if you're an Ultron lover, state your case in the comments. And then Guardian here, got him at max sig. If we're talking Guardian, definitely want him to be high sig. It doesn't have to be sig 200, but like close, you know. It's not as important as like Namor being that absolute sig 200, but just the higher the sig with Guardian, the more he gets from that ability. So I think he deserves that. And then Penny Parker, honestly, I could maybe see Penny going up here one day. Like, if this list is offensive, if this list was like a mix of offensive and defensive, or just defense, like, Penny would be here up, no question. You know, I really should make a defense tier list, or maybe it's just a battlegrounds defensive tier list type deal. I don't know. Let me know if you guys want to see that. I'm sure you do, and I think I want to make it. But yeah, Penny Parker, she's a beast. She is a beast. And we had a few promotions here. Howard the Duck and Vulture both got promotions, which is good to see for them. And yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the skill class. So, Black Cat, I'm going to keep her in the Beyonder tier. I was going back and forth on her. I put her down to God tier, then I brought her back. I think I put her here before I made this change to like incorporate more champions. Whoops, I keep doing that. But ultimately I decided that I'm still not sure. I'm gonna leave her here for now. I was really hoping that I had gotten her so that I could play her more and really know where to put her better, because she's a really hard champ to place when you see her breaking these world records in specific content, but like that content doesn't really matter. So like she's a really hard champ to rank. But I think for now I'm gonna leave her in the Beyonder tier. And I think the worst champ in the skill class is Moon Knight. I think so. Which sucks because he had such a great TV show. I really want to see Moon Knight get a buff. They missed their chance with the show, and I don't want to get into spoilers, but like what I'd really love is that if Moon Knight had basically a pre-fight ability where you can pick him, or you can pick Mr. Knight, like Steven or Mark, and changing that up would change your appearance. I think that would be so cool if they buff Moon Knight that way, or made a new Moon Knight. I think that could be really cool. But the skill class underwent a lot of changes. I think, yeah, Squirrel Girl got moved up, Jabari got moved up, and Ronin also got moved up. Hitmonkey got moved up, and so did Masakre and Stealth Spidey. Masakre, I got wrecked by Fintech in Battlegrounds. I think it was twice, 2 separate occasions, where he was using Massacre, and it was in matchups where like I thought I had him, and it's like, nope, Masakre, Massacre. So just for that alone, he's going into Beyonder tier. Definitely need to see him a bit more. I'd like to actually see the fights that Fintech did. One was against a Weapon X. I had Stark Spidey versus Mr. Fantastic, which was a pretty easy fight. I came out with 100% health. It was like 61 or 62 seconds. Full health. And he had Weapon X with Masakre, and he beat me. That's disadvantage. Like, that blew my mind. Like, I really thought people in chat thought he was hacking. Like, ridiculous. So this champion, I need to see more, but so there might be a bit of a premature ranking, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. And then Aegon here, man, I can't put Aegon here because what he's king of is now irrelevant. Abyss and Labyrinth of Legends, for me, are completely irrelevant at this point until we get that next type of content. Aegon's kind of sitting in the dust, you know. But if you have to do Abyss of Legends or Labyrinth of Legends, then yeah, he's the number one he's the number one champ in the game if you're trying to do that content. But again, outside of that content, I just can't justify putting him any higher. But he's number one in those, and no one's arguing that. At least I hope not. Crossbones, Beyonder tier, he's a beast. Blade, some people... It's funny, there was polarizing comments. Some people were happy to see Blade here. Some people thought he should be demoted. Guys, if we're talking like a rank 3 Blade, 6-star rank 3 Blade, decently high Sig, like the sustainability on that, the regen on that, the like Blade counters a niche, which is dimensional beings. You know, that's Cosmic Ghost Rider, Dormammu, Magic. There are these annoying defenders that, you know, Blade just auto counters essentially. And so, and just that regen is incredible in any matchup. Blade has one of the best and most controllable regens in the game. So to anyone arguing, yeah, Blade is a bit outdated these days. But if you have one and he's awakened, like, he 100% deserves this spot. You can't convince me otherwise. I've used Blade so much as a 5-star. I know how good he is. And he may not be as relevant as he is back then, but he still has the same abilities, and he's still really good. So he's going to remain there. Now, this is where it gets most interesting. So since I decided to, you know, move other champions to this tier, I decided, you know what? I'm just going to put Nick Fury and Shang-Chi as the top skill champ. Both of them, because it's so... I said this last time, too. Reading through all those 300 comments, there's like 50-50 of the talks about the Nick Fury Shang-Chi debate, half of the people were rooting for Nick Fury, the other half were rooting for Shang-Chi, and it's just funny. And I really like both characters. I think both are so good. So I'm just gonna put them both here because I view them as pretty equal. They have their advantages and their disadvantages, and depending on the matchup, one's gonna be better. But overall, I think they're pretty equal. And the fact that people argue like that equally, like the sample size in my comments, like so they're gonna share that spot. And then the other 3 skill champions that made it here are Falcon, Mole Man, and Kingpin. So I think these 5 skill champions are just a step above the rest. Falcon, since his buff, I've ranked him and I've used him a ton, especially in Alliance War. And I use him in AQ also every day. He has not let me down, and I'm talking like a Sig 30, rank 3, 6-star Falcon. I think Falcon at like a high Sig, it increases his crit rate by quite a bit when locked on. I'd love to try it. I really would. It would make him even way better. But I just can't justify giving him those SIGs unless I were to rank for him, which I've honestly thought about. But Falcon is an absolute beast in my eyes. And I personally think Falcon's better than Mole Man and Kingpin. I know that's definitely not a popular opinion, but it is mine. But I am not, at the same time, I'm not trying to disrespect Mole Man or Kingpin. These guys, I view them as equals in this tier. Mole Man is incredible. I've been playing him a lot more lately, and really solid, really fun, really easy to use. Get set up super quick. It's great. It's like guaranteed crits, and those crits cause bleeds, and it's just True Strike if you're stable on 10 charges, and it's just wonderful. And Kingpin with synergies, with full synergies, I think could be the best skill champion in the game. But we're not talking full synergies here. But on his own, Kingpin's still an absolute monster in his own right, and I think certainly deserves to be here. So yeah, that's the skill class. One class left to go, guys. This is gonna be a 30-minute tier list video. Well, like I said, there was lots to talk about today. So Cosmic, we still have Hercules as number 1, and honestly guys, let me know what you think about this. But I want to put Cosmic Ghost Rider here with Hercules. And it was funny because there's a couple comments that said they think Cosmic Ghost Rider is the best, or it's close with Hercules. And honestly, I agree. I honestly think Cosmic Ghost Rider is on the same level as Hercules. Hercules' awakening ability is so incredible, and part of what makes him so good. But Cosmic Ghost Rider's damage is so insane, man. And it's just, I use Cosmic Ghost Rider probably more than any other champ on my roster, to be totally honest. When I'm doing questing, he's the champ I use just because he's so, first of all, he's so badass. Second of all, he's so fast for questing. And it's just, he's so good. So let me know what you guys think of that. If we put Cosmic Ghost Rider and Hercules on the same footing like we did with Nick Fury and Shang-Chi here. Let me know if you guys agree with that or disagree with that. For now, we'll leave it as is. Hercules the best, and then Cosmic Ghost Rider and Hyperion are definitely in that tier with him for sure. But which might be a little controversial that some of these champions don't make it, like Corvus and Null. I think Corvus is past his prime and pretty irrelevant now. When I see Corvus, I just think of old Hercules. It's kind of how I view him. And the thing about Corvus is you have to defeat certain types of champions to get your charges, and there could just be a path with champions. The whole path just does not give you Corvus charges. Corvus would just be bad for that. And of course, well, yeah, don't use Corvus there, but it's just if he can be countered so easily like that, I just don't think he deserves to be in this tier. And it's just a pain to use for me. And I don't have a 6-star Corvus, and I really don't care to get one. It doesn't matter to me. Null is probably the next champ that I would put here, but I don't know. Something's holding me back a bit. I just find that CGR, Hyperion and Hercules are a bit better than Null, but he definitely could make it here. And if there's a lot of people that want to see that, we can definitely make that change. So let me know what you guys think there. Cat Marvel movie, she's definitely also become a bit more irrelevant these days, but I still think she's an incredible champion and deserves to be in this tier. And then the next 4 champions we added to this tier, which is exciting. So Cersei's incredible on defense, but again, this is not a defensive tier list. but she's also, I've heard really good things about her on attack. But God, to be honest, she is here because of that defensive use, which, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of her being here. Angela's incredible. I've definitely been sleeping on Angela since her buff. But yeah, I think she deserved to be here. And Gamora's buff is really, really good too. I really like what they did with Gamora. I want to rank mine. I just, so many other champs I want to rank right now. I think Gamora finally got a good enough buff. I don't think we'll need a 4th one for her. And then we also added King Groot here. Just King Groot's a monster. Regeneration wise, he can really keep you alive. And so yeah, I think he deserves that spot. And then the champ that I want to see buffed most in the Cosmic class is Groot. It's got to be Groot. Honestly, the champ I want the most selfishly buffed is Thanos, because I have him as a 6-star from beating Abyss, being one of the first 20 people in the world to 100% Abyss. But I still think I want to see Groot buff more. Well, I don't know, but I really want to see a Groot buff because Groot is just awesome, man. I still remember watching Guardians of the Galaxy and seeing Groot just stick his branches like up that dude's nose in the prison. I'm just like, Groot, you are so badass, man. Like, I fell in love with the character right there. But yeah, guys, that is the list. 30-minute video, so much changes. And now, if I were to rank these new champions here, I put them both in Beyonder tier right now, man. Honestly, for right now, Wong, I was really impressed by Wong. Wong is here. I'm putting him here, and I'm confident in that placement. He has really amazing regen, controllability, great damage, very customizable play style, which I really appreciate, and incredible power gain, good fate seal on the special 3, which is very easy to get to because of his insane power gain. And yeah, I just think Wong, wonderful champion, very well designed, and really like him. Rintrah, on the other hand, I haven't played him nearly as much, but I've heard like even more good stuff about Rintrah than I have of Wong, actually. So, and from what I've seen of Rintrah and played as well, I was impressed. So Rintrah, I was a little bit unsure, Beyonder or God tier, but from what I've heard, I'm going to leave him in here for now. But again, you guys can give me your feedback and let me know. But yeah, guys, that is going to do it. I think finally going to do it for this this tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed. If so, drop a like. A lot of thinking and effort and placements go into these types of videos. So if you drop a like, that would really mean a lot, and share it around. That's going to do it. Hope you guys enjoyed. We will be back next month for another tier list. I'll try to get it out a little bit sooner in the month. But yeah, that's going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We are pushing for 100,000 subscribers by this summer. So if you subscribed, join the Leg Legion, that would be huge. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.